Hey, hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. I woke up this morning with the urge to just play. And I was thinking of like a monochromatic peach look. We all know peach is the Pantone color of the year, and not that that ever plays a role in anything that I think or do. It just seemed like it would be fun. So I went through all of my makeups. Well, not all, that's a slight exaggeration. Some of my makeups, like I normally do, but with the intent of pulling peachy things. So I grabbed my Blend Bunny Sugar and Grunge palette. This has obviously kind of a peachy tone here, and this shimmer up here I thought would be really cute and, you know, meet the brief. And then I pulled out my Club Nebula palette from Kaleidos and Angelica Nyquist because of this. Just broke. My green just fell out. But it has those peachy tones at the bottom. Oh man. I gotta get that green back in the pan. This palette has given me some trouble. It's broken a couple of times. Oh, that's a bummer. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, the green is back in. I will have to repress it later. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful when I do my makeups. Anyway, that's the idea. I grabbed out some peach eyeshadow, some peach blush, just, you know, some fun things to play with. So I thought I would drag you along. Hopefully you're up for that. If you are and you're not subscribed, nag, 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 I know. All right, how about I just stop nagging you and scoot you in and we play with some makeups. All right, I've got some of my little wispy hairs pulled back and I have a fluffy brush. This is a doe color 06, and I'm gonna go into that super light peach shade from the Sugar and Grunge palette and just see what that looks like through my transition area. It looks like my skin. Okay. I kind of suspected, but you know, it's good to test it out and see. My eyes are primed with the usual concoction, except I've been doing something a little bit different. I've been using my NARS Pot Concealer in my brows first, and I think I like it. Anyway, I am going to mix the Samus shade from the Kaleidos palette with the Sweetheart shade from Blend Bunny and put that in the transition area. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I really do like mixing and matching eyeshadows. I think it's so fun to kind of play mad scientist, if you will, with eyeshadows. I just think it's fun. And you know, nothing too serious. Oh, back to how I primed my eyes. In case you haven't been here for a while and know this already, I use the Sigma Eye Base in Ignite below my brow, and then I use the Milani Eye Primer from my lashes all the way up to my brow. And I used a little bit of a white, like pencil primer stick, just for a little bit of a highlight effect right below my brow on the outer portion of my eye, hoping for a bit of a lifted effect, sort of. So I've been doing that for a couple of days and I think I really like it. Who knows how long I'll like it for, but for right now it's been pretty fun. And I'm just taking this from the very inner to the very outer of my eye. I'm gonna go back in because I want a little bit more on this side as well. And then I think I'm just gonna take the Kaleidos shade by itself all over my lid up into my crease. So let's start with the crease. I'm going to use this Divina D109 brush in that sameish shade, just on its own. Through, like just above where my actual crease is, because my eyes are incredibly hooded. If I put it in my crease, you wouldn't see it again unless I gave you surprised face or did a really slow blink. But slow blinks can lead to falling asleep, so not doing that. This isn't like hugely different, but that is what I wanted. Just slight. I'm thinking I might boop into the dark red shade just the tiniest bit, and then back into the peachy shade, and see if that'll give us just a tiny bit more depth. Because I don't want it to change the color necessarily. I just want a bit of a difference, if that makes sense. And I think it's working. It's super duper subtle, but again, that's kind of what I wanted. Yeah, like super subtle, but I like it. Now I'm going to fluff just the Seamus shade on my lid. I think I've got lots and lots of fallout, but that's okay because I don't have my face done. I anticipated making a bit of a mess. I like to do my eyes first. That way I don't have to worry about being careful. I can do my face and then my eyes, but I prefer to do it this way. All right. I am just doing a quick once over. This is a super, super fast and easy, like messy look, which I'm pretty excited about. And I'm looking a little sick right now, but I think it'll come together. So I'm gonna take the shade Nebula from the Kaleidos palette, and that's gonna go on my lid, kind of the whole thing, not quite all the way out, but that's not the brush for this job. All right, I've got a Singe Beauty E01, which is pretty much the brush I prefer for shimmer shades. And surprisingly, I'm not wetting this. Usually I like to wet my shimmers, but I want this to be a bit more subtle. I know what's happening. I don't know. I just felt like playing and doing something different today. I have no idea why or what it's about, but I'm embracing it because so far it's been pretty darn fun. All right, that darker peachy shade is kind of all over. So now I'm gonna go into the Blend Bunny palette and grab the shade Prom Queen, which is significantly lighter. Yeah, and I'm just gonna put that kind of in the middle of that nebula shade. I think this is working. Again, not wetting my brush just applying the shades dry. A bit more subtle. Okay, I'm gonna go back into Nebula just to on either side of the Prom Queen shade. I think that's really cute. What do you think? I know it's very light, very different, but I think I like it. And I feel like we have to go with an orangey liner and mascara and lashes. I'll put on my foundation, concealer, all of that, and then I'll come back and we'll do blush, highlight, and lips together, because that's like the peachy stuff. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I did lashes, liner, foundation, concealer, bronzer, and contour, and that's it. So let's do some blush. I pulled out two because I thought it'd be fun to layer. So I grabbed my Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette, and I thought we could use that top peachy orangey shade. And then I grabbed my Essence Pure Nude in Pretty Peach because, again, peach. My eyes look a little more orangey than peachy, but I think it will all come together. Just gonna clean off my blush brush a little bit. I know you can still see like my contour around my lip. I still have to do finishing powder and my lip product, so try to ignore that for a minute. So I'm gonna take my Rephr 04 and dip into that peachy shade from the Danessa Myricks. And I'm gonna get a little bit more. I haven't used this nearly enough. I love this blush palette so much. I used it a lot when I first got it. And I know there's a lot of strong feelings around this because sometimes it can lift the product underneath, but I found pressing it on with this brush, my foundation and whatever is never disturbed underneath, so I don't worry about using it. I think it's absolutely fine. Maybe I'll tap into a bit of the orangey shade too, just to maybe bring it a little closer to the eyes. Yeah, I think that works. Still peachy, but also a little orangey. Well, peach is like orangey, right? And I'll just put a little bit of the peach by itself just back here. Yeah, I think that's working. Going in with just a little bit more of the orange right back here where it meets up with the eyeshadow for a slightly smoother blend. Yeah, I think that's working. And I'm going to clean off my brush again. So I mixed the two orangey shades, and that's just lovely. Oh, love it. Now we'll dip into the Essence blush and top that over it. Yeah, I know it looks very, very strong, but we haven't done finishing powder yet. So I think it'll be okay. I hope. Yeah, you know what I might do? I just cleaned off this Rephr 16 and I'm gonna dip into the Essence blush and just drag it into my eyeshadow a little bit. I think that's working because the eyes do look a little bit more orange. Or what if I take my blush brush and dip into the eyeshadow a little bit? I know we're just like piling on more and more. I am not afeared of blush. And I think it will tone down a little with the finishing powder. So that I like. I know it's very strong right now, but let's just trust the process for now. Before I do finishing powder and highlighter, I want to do the faux freckles. So I have these two freckle pens that I got off of the Zon. Kind of like no name hand a van, I don't know, and I genuinely don't know. So I'm gonna do faux freckles, and then I have my other one right here in the shade 2. So I got two of these, one in shade 1 and one in shade 2, and this is what I use to do my moles or whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to do that, and then I will speed through doing the faux freckles and we'll see how I feel. And it will probably look a little bit stark at first, but again, we still have to do finishing powder. And I know you're probably thinking I'm putting an awful lot of stock in the powers of the finishing powder, but trust me, it should work out. All right, let's do some faux freckles. I'm gonna start with this. Oop. This V1. It has, I don't know if you can, I'll try to zoom in here. It has a teeny tiny little ball on the tip for the faux freckling. So here we go. I'm switching to the other one now. I figured slightly different tones would make it slightly more realistic looking, even though it's not. So now before I go with highlight, I want to do my finishing powder, and I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear in 120 Vanilla. This is pretty much what I always use. You can see it's almost gone. I'm using my Rephr, the special edition one they just released in the fall or early winter. And I'm just going to use this all over my face to blend the edges of my blush, bronzer, contour, tone down these freckles a tiny bit, and try to get everything looking nice and smooth. To highlight, for that I pulled out my Odin's Eye Solomon Moonlight Feel highlighter in the shade Warm Sunshine because it's got an orangey, peachy hue. I really like this highlight. So let's just put that on. So pretty. I'll go in with my smaller brush for all of the other spots. In the inner corner, of course. He's just gonna finish up the lower lash line as well. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into the Seamus shade from the Kaleidos palette. And I'm gonna run that just under my entire lower lash line. Beginning to end. Beginning to end, no. Inner to outer. Ooh, all distracted. Trying to avoid getting this all over. I did have quite a bit of fallout. But again, I was not being even a little bit careful, so I expected that. All right, I think that's pretty cute. I do still have to go in with lower lash mascara, which I think will kind of tone down the orange a little bit. But for my lip, before I do my lashes, I got this ColourPop shadow stick for my sister. It seemed very, very, very light online, and when it came in the mail, I realized there was no chance she was gonna be able to use this, but I swatched it on my hand and it's very metallic. So I thought this might make a really cute lippy with like a gloss over it. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm going to do lower lash mascara, do something with my wispies, and then I'll come back and show you the final look and we can wrap this up. All right, I'm back and this is the look done. Let me scoot you in for an up close at the eyes and perhaps the faux freckles. Honestly, I think it's kind of fun and cute. You have to let me know what you think in the comment section. I would absolutely go out in public like this, but I tend to look at makeup as just fun, and I don't know. Obviously don't take it seriously, so I don't know, but I really would like to hear what you think about this. Should I just stick to my lane and not get wild and crazy with the makeups? I don't know. I think it's pretty fun though. As for what's on my face, if you're wondering, I'll tell you now. If you don't care, hopefully I will see you in my next video. I went in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Powder Balm thingy in shade 1 in the center of my face. Basically T-zone areas, but I'm using it as a foundation. Even though it is definitely too light, I went in with the Maybelline Superstay concealer, then I powdered all along the perimeter of my face with the L'Oreal powder foundation in 120 Vanilla, and I just think it kind of brings it all together. I also used it as my finishing powder, and I don't know, I figured with the faux freckles I wouldn't need super high coverage and this would work, and I really do think it did. Again, you'll have to let me know what you think, because I won't know what it looks like on camera until I am editing it, which, you know, by then there's nothing I can do about it. And then I went in with my Kaleidos Symphony Trio in medium for my bronzer and contour. You saw my blushes. I love these Essence blushes. I think they are absolutely fantastic. I used the ColourPop eyeliner in the shade, why are you so hard to read? Movie Star, I think. It's again that kind of peachy, orangey shade, and I love it. You saw I was gonna use the shadow stick from ColourPop as my lipstick. I did that, and then I topped it with, where did I put it? The Unearthly lip gloss that I got in the summer box in the shade Psych. I love this. I'm gonna be so sad when it's gone. I reach for it several times a week. I just really Really like it. I think that is it. I have to go fix my eyeshadow in the Kaleidos palette. Very sad about that. Yeah, that's everything. So, lipstick on my teeth, of course. You'll have to let me know what you think of all of my shenanigans today. Is this anything you would do or not so much? I really like talking about makeup stuffs with you. So yeah, let's just, I don't know, let's do that. It's fun. Even if you think I look ridiculous, I'm okay with that too. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.